What's up, YouTube? So I'm on the road again in this video, so forgive the audio and video if it's a little bumpy and not perfect. Just a quick on-the-fly discussion while I'm in the car. So I've had a lot of people commenting in the last week, here and there sporadically, saying stuff like, you're another toxic red pill guy, or you're an incel, another angry incel that hates women. Couple things to address there. For starters, I don't think a lot of you guys know what an incel is. Incel basically is involuntarily celibate, somebody that can't get women, or for whatever reason can't actually perform the acts with women. Involuntarily celibate. That has not applied to any video I've posted or any discussion that I've had on YouTube. There's nothing about my channel that addresses me being an incel. That makes no sense at all. I'm certainly not involuntarily celibate. Secondly, like the toxic red pill thing. Now, I don't consider myself to be like married to any ideology on YouTube, really. I definitely think that a lot of like the like red pill guys can be toxic, but I think that they do that because they want to be a bit extreme to get attention and, you know, just a performing arts, if you will. But I agree with a lot of what they say. Like even Myron and all these people that everyone loves to hate, he's absolutely right with a lot of the things he says. Now, do I agree with everything Myron or anybody else you can name says? No, absolutely not. Of course I don't. But I don't agree with everything my mom says, or my dad says, or my brothers and my friends and bros say. No, I don't agree with everything any of them say, and I love all of them. So two things can be right at the same time. I agree with a lot of the rhetoric from like the red pill guys, and I'll even go a step further and say I agree with a lot of the rude, mean, toxic rhetoric from the red pill guys, because a lot of the stuff they say addressing the behavior of modern women today is true. I agree with it. I do not subscribe to the notion that as a man you should always be stoic and treat a woman with respect and lead her the right way if she's astray. No, hell no. Most women today are trashy garbage that I do not respect. Now, I'm still civil. I'm still relatively nice to them if I see them in person, just as a human, to be a good person. I'm not saying to do things that are mean or rude or toxic or violent or whatever. I'm not saying to attack people verbally or physically. No, not at all. But I'm saying that the level of respect I give in person, or online for that matter, I do my best to make sure that it matches what's earned, basically. So if I see, you know, women out here that are acting trashy and whatnot, I'm going to be as nice as I think is earned or is fit for that, right? And again, I'm not telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do or say or feel. I'm just saying my own feelings, man. I think that one of the biggest problems in our society today, and even with like the red pill, men's self-development, whatever like community you want to name, one of the biggest problems I see that I don't agree with is how hard most people are on men for the things they need to improve, rightfully so. But at the same time, they will stick up for trashy women. They will refuse to be hard on women for the things they're doing wrong or should improve upon. A lot of these guys out here that are hard on men will not be hard on women, and they will white knight for women and simp for women and fight for women that actually look down upon them. So I don't like that. I think that if you're going to be hard on men, rightfully so, telling them how they should improve, you should also be hard on the women, because women today are far worse than men. I don't care what anybody says. Most men today are, you know, within reason of what's expected of them. A few little tinkers here and there, a few little adjustments here and there, and most men would be pretty damn good. Women, on the other hand, nah, way more deceitful than let me reword that. The average woman today is way more deceitful than the average man. The average woman today is way more dishonest than the average man. The average woman today is fooling the majority of the people around her, even in her personal life, far more than the average man. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. In my experience, that's the truth. And what I get annoyed with is all the men that seem to like hate the red pill stuff. The big problem is that they don't like the fact that like men are being mean to women. You being nice to women that are trashy and vulgar and toxic is not going to make them like you anymore, because make no mistake, those women don't like you. They do not like you, dude. So you trying to disqualify the mean men by being one of the nice ones, your loser brain, maybe knowingly, subconsciously on purpose, or maybe you might not know this even, you might not recognize it, but that subconscious part of your brain that's disqualifying these mean guys is doing it because in some way, shape, or form, you're hoping you will be seen at a higher level by those said trashy women. You know, because let's be real, most trashy women today tend to be attractive. Because men, we find, like, we're visual creatures, so we find sexuality relatively attractive, you know, whether we recognize that it's trashy or not. As a man, you kind of have to recognize that it's trashy and make the choice to step away from it. But a lot of these weak men that like to talk bad about most men today and have no problem pointing out the flaws we have on average, those same guys will not do it with women, or they'll sugarcoat it or be nice. But again, they're doing that because they are trying to separate themselves from the other average men by being a protector. I'm protecting you, women. I forgive you. You're a dork, dude. You're the incel. Guys like that, those are the involuntarily celibate guys that couldn't get a woman to touch them if, you know, they were in some life-threatening, dangerous position that needed help. Those women wouldn't help you if your life depended on it. You know, so as a man, I think that you're doing more for yourself and for the women by being a little bit mean if it's necessary, if that's what it takes to wake them up. You know, don't cross any lines, of course, but you need to be as mean as it takes to get your point across and wake them up. You know, you'd be doing yourself more favors that way, because at least you'd be respecting yourself. And whether these women want to respect you or not, at the very least, you should respect yourself. So I'm rambling here at this point, but the point of the video is I don't necessarily consider myself any like community, but I do align with most of the red pill content, and I have no problem being lumped into that category. I think those men are far more self-respecting than the white knights that try to bash their fellow man and sugarcoat it and protect women and speak with all this nuance and, well, the reason women act this way is because men do this and don't do that and they refuse to see this. You're doing this word salad, this word Olympics, trying to like justify women and give them a pass. No, bro, cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit, because your fellow men that are relatively masculine and relatively level-headed and relatively red pill, they don't respect you at all. They know what you're doing. You're a weak little biatch that's trying to win over the women by being a sneaky little effer that's trying to separate yourself from everybody else. You're more toxic than anybody. You sneaky little SOB. You're more toxic than anybody by being a little nice guy, being a little good boy, and hopefully the girls will like you because you're a good boy. You're sticking up for them. They don't like you, bro. And most men don't either, so now you're really screwed. Anyways, that's that. Wanted to clarify it a little bit. Until next time, guys, we'll talk again. God bless.